Yo, what's up, and welcome back to the channel. So, I've been doing some thinking about nihilism once again because it never fucking stops. Every single day, I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, it's the meaningless, pointless world that I exist in again. But, anyway, there's something that, I couldn't exactly wrap my head around when it comes to most people because to me, nihilism is like the most axiomatic thing about the universe. Like you just see everything and it's like, oh yeah, this is indifference. Oh yeah, I'm doing this because it's cope. Oh yeah, I'm doing this because if I wasn't, I'd just be bored. Or what else? I'd just kill myself, right? But then I started piecing it together and I think I finally cracked the code as to like why majority of people have such a hard time accepting that everything is so insignificant and doesn't actually matter. They have to cope really hard into thinking that oh, they do matter or something has some importance when no, it's all just cope, it's all just distraction. And I thought about gambling addicts and it makes so much sense because I see people and they might even criticize people with gambling addictions. And honestly, it doesn't even seem that different to how I feel towards them. Like you hear stories about people blowing all their finances away, losing all their money, like destroying families just because they can't, stop going to the casino or whatever, stop betting on this, stop betting on like yeah, they can't stop betting on whatever it is that, is draining their money because they keep having this anticipation of like a huge success. And that's the koi of life, essentially, because we exist here and we're biased to our own experiences. That's why we retreat from death. I mean, obviously, there's like the survival instinct too, but every single day that we live life, we're just pulling a slot machine in the hopes that our quote unquote efforts for this day, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, will make some form of like a huge impact or like whatever. But every day is a loss, honestly. And they've done the math for the slot machines or whatever. Like, they've calculated and crunched the numbers for like the probability, and the odds are not in your favor. That's why majority of people just live average lives that aren't even being spoken about. Or even if we take it at, such a singular level, when you think of like the greatest days of your life, yeah, it's exactly that, the greatest days of your life. You're not going to say every day is the greatest day of your life. Well, you might just because you might want to put on your front of like, oh my gosh, so much optimism and like happiness, but like no. Every single day is mostly mundane and ordinary. You might have a few days of significance to you, quote unquote, and you hold those things as, wonderful memories and experiences. Well, you know what? They're gone. They're gone. And that's why humans are alive right now because they don't even actually deal with reality. They look back on memories that are technically not even here anymore, or they look for the potentiality of, something great. So they pull on a slot machine in the same way that a gambling addict does. Because you might win some here and there, but most importantly, you just lose half the time. Now, sure, an ordinary average day is not as bad as, let's say, losing so much money that, okay, you put yourself into financial ruins so much quicker and so much more drastic than anything else you could have done that wouldn't have ended up that way, obviously, if you didn't do that. And the more I keep thinking about it, I'm just like, yes, this is life precisely because we know we're all just gonna die. That's why we created the notion of, religions as like things to, cope by. And we live in this cognitive dissonance because, okay, look at your religion and look at the way a gambling addict has so much hope for money. What is the difference? The anticipation of hope or a grand prize is a chemical in the brain, and honestly the mechanisms that it works about, like works no differently. Obviously you're in there, you're in a casino for example because you're nothing and you don't have the prize. Obviously you enter this world, at least from like a theistic religious like point of view, you're nothing and you need the, salvation of something. So, oh, give your life to Jesus, give your life to Allah, or something like that, or whatever the fuck, and then apparently you will be given eternal salvation. But you're not perfect, right? So you work every single day to quote unquote try and be a good person, try and to overrun your sins, but then you keep fucking up. But essentially, that is the drug of hope. So that's why when I think about it, not even just meaning, let's say, like religion in general, that's why people can't let go of these things. Because they're addicts, no different than an alcoholic, no different than somebody with a gambling addiction. But the only difference is that when it comes to being addicted to life, or when it comes to being addicted to, yeah, we're all biased by it because this is right here, right now, and our lives are basically all about like our experiences yesterday, today, tomorrow, whatever, all that kind of stuff, and we just keep holding it because that's essentially all we've got. And within this, we have dices to roll and numbers to play out, odds to like play out. But essentially, everybody that believes in meaning is just stuck on the drug of false hope because life itself is a false hope. So that's why, in a way, when you tell somebody that's a gambling addict, yo, stop that. That's not real. This is not real. Like whatever. Like no, they. I'm not saying there aren't any people that have overcome their like gambling addiction, like obviously, but I'm trying to put this into perspective as to like why it might be super difficult because I've realized then that now that it's not any different. You can't let go of meaning and quote unquote like purpose in the same way that essentially somebody at the casino can't get rid of pulling down hoping to have like a quick win because you know what, they're built on anticipation, they're built on crossing their fingers, sure, effort, whatever you want to call it, and all that kind of stuff, but it's simulated in your head. The only difference is that okay, when a gambling addict's at the casino, oh, they have all the fancy lights, the cha-ching noises and whatever, and like all that kind of stuff. It gives the serotonin, the dopamine, whatever the feel good chemicals are called. Yeah, but if you don't have a casino, you know what you do with that? You use meaning. You supplement it with meaning and goals. But you know what? You lose because you don't have forever, you have nothing, and you're just running out. So you can run out of currency, no different than you can run out of life. So all of this is just a false illusion. And much like how people tell gambling addicts, oh, that's not worth it, but yet they still do it anyway. That's how I feel about life. Okay, I'm still doing it, but technically it's not even worth it. And it's out of my control. The universe, biology, nature, whatever decided that I wasn't worth it. But you know what? They said, "Oh, go play for a little while. Go play for a little while." But it's fucking stupid anyway. It doesn't matter. But still, go play for a little while, doing all this like stupid crap. That's if the universe had to say something, that's what it said to us. That's what it said. No different than the slot machine saying, "Oh, you could be the next winner. You could be the like whatever," or something like that. But no, you're not. You just get to play for a while. Like so, yeah. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. That's all I keep saying about life. Cognitive dissonance.